Welcome to Spiritually Raw. We expose and explore controversial truths, myths, and theories surrounding the spirit world. Guests include QAnon experts, investigators, debunkers, and skeptics of the supernatural, unexplained, and flat-out unimaginable. Content discussed on this show is not necessarily the opinion of the cast of Spiritually Raw, and topics quite often are for mature audiences only. This show is not intended to replace any medical, financial, or legal advice and is for entertainment purposes only. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Hey everybody, what's going on? I know you have a show to watch, so let me get real quick into this with you. Okay, so Ascended Masters you're watching right now, browse, select, ascend. It's very easy to use. All you have to do is scroll down here. You're going to see the different categories, sessions, courses, products, entertainment, books, conscious business growth. All you do is you simply click on the category that's resonating with you or that you're in need of, and you're going to see a video directory of some of the greatest minds out there. And within 5 to 7 minutes, you'll find out who that person is, what their style is, and if they're going to help you on your journey called life. It's a very easy formula to follow right here. And also too, if you're one of those who does have a product or service that you think that will be a benefit to others and you'd like to be on Ascended Masters, our email is in the description below. It's askspirituallyraw@gmail.com. We'll set up a time to chat and see how you can make a difference in the world for people. So hope you're enjoying the site, everybody. Thanks for sharing this, and much love to you. And most importantly, enjoy the show. We'll see you next time. Hello, everybody. How are you? And welcome to Spiritually Raw. Thank you so much for your energy exchange with us today. And as always, we hope you walk to the most miracle morning and are also having the most fortunate day today. That was pretty cool, wasn't it, everybody? All right, everybody, listen, thanks again for staying connected with us. And remember, if you haven't already, kindly hit the subscribe button on this and our videos so it helps us stay connected with you. Turn on that notification bell so you are notified when we get great guests like you're about to meet, Michael Ellegion. Galactic match.
That's Jay, not even
intergalactic.
I'll take care of the intro.
Said,
Jay's already butchering that
no
one.
No worries. You grab it. You grab it right here, though. But you got to check this one out, everybody. This is going to be cool. You're going to love this. So let me flip it to you.
Ready?
Let's roll.
Well, real quick, though, thank you, everybody. And if you could please just take a quick moment from wherever you're watching this video. And if you would kindly hit the like button, the subscribe, and make sure to hit the notification bell. And if you think this show is fantastic, like nothing you've ever heard before, please do share it. We all would surely greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And without further ado, let's introduce to you Michael Ellegion. Now, just hold on a second. Michael Ellegion has a beloved Celeste, who is his twin flame and divine other half. Now, okay, big deal. We've heard this all before. Not so much. Celeste is his immortal intergalactic goddess, aka Space Lady, who is around Michael 24/7. She's on the 5D etheric level, and how this literally energetically impacted the time-space continuum. He's going to talk all about that, which also sets the stage for many other twin flame couples who now have the possibility to meet their galactic twin flame as well. Michael Ellegion was originally trained as a young child through the Edgar Cayce method of channeling. He's done literally thousands of transformational channeled readings for fellow light workers, star people for many, many decades. He's the author of the highly acclaimed book, Prepare for the Landings, and his latest book, along with his girl Celeste, they are the authors of their exciting new book called INTERGALACTIC.com. Now, before we get to that whole story, there's just so much more to Michael than just that story alone. And Jay, let's start out what we were just chatting about literally seconds before we came on, because I didn't even know about this. Michael came on real quick and he's like, oh, and by the way, I was, the Cabal killed me and I was taken up on a ship in 1979, Michael, was it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I said, don't go any further.
Let's all find out together what that's like, right? So you were killed by the Cabal in how were you killed and what were
and why?
Well, it's my understanding they used a psychotronic beam weapon on me. They had my, we emit very frequencies. And there's been a technology called psychotronic radionics. It's been around. All you need is a sample, a voice print, a voice recording, a photograph, anything to do with your DNA, RNA that can tap into it. Well, at the same time, it can be used for good or evil. And we've had a Cabal deep state controlling this planet for eons. Well, now that's going away because what we have, the White Hat Alliance, they're called. Many people think Q was some conspiracy thing, but I can tell you it's real. Q showed up at my events in the 80s. Q intelligence members showed up, okay? Among many others.
They showed up around
They
you?
showed up at events I was doing publicly. After the cabal killed me, and I was at that, when they hit me with the psychotronic beam, ripped the life force out of my body. And next thing I know, I was physically beamed aboard a Merkaba light ship of the Universal Guardian Alliance, and also known as the Federation of Light, the Astral Command, different higher beings. The Universal Alliance is working with the Earth Alliance to finish up the takedown of the cabal right now. But my mission, being what it was, is to get it out there in the public domain. Because within the UFO community, for example, there's been a cover-up about the human-appearing benevolent beings who've been helping the Earth behind the scenes forever. And so within the UFO community, there were so many deep state assets.
Wait, back up. I want to make sure I just got what you said. Did you say there's a cover-up for the benevolent human beings?
For many, many years, until very recently, the UFO community, UFO field, was filled with agents. They call themselves professional UFO investigators, like it's some big thing. But if you ever remembered Bill Cooper, William Cooper wrote a book called Behold a Pale Horse. In that book, and I knew him, I supported him, I promoted his book quite a bit. He talks about a majority of UFO investigators were connected with the cabal, deep state, secret government, Illuminati, whatever. And they covered up about the human appearing benevolent beings while starting to stuff the grays down our throat, basically the grays and reptilians, who are part of were working with the Earth dark deep state cabal. Well, now there's been a shift that's happened that has now brought a lot of lights coming on the planet right now. And there's what is called the Great Awakening going on. People are waking up, and all of the stuff we see going on right now, it's a movie, a pantomime, basically to wake up people out of the, they've been stuck in this state of unconsciousness because of mind control and everything else. Back in 1979, when I began to become public with my knowledge, and as I began to do so, and they were tuning into the fact that was going to be a real problem to them. Now, I live my life fearlessly because my attitude was, if something happens to me, I'm just going to go back aboard the light ships, hang out in the party in the light club. They have light clubs. Oh my God, incredible. Etheric food and drink nectar of the goddesses, and of course I'd be with Celeste totally. And now as I look back on my life, a lot of events that unfolded that had to occur to set the stage for other things. I mean, what would a life be? It was all dull and boring and just every even keel. So we have to jazz it up a little. We have to make it a little provocative. Just like Celeste, my book is very provocative. I mean, if it was all dull and boring.
Tacky, huh?
Yeah, and in fact, when people get upset, when people get upset, at least they're alive. When they get all upset, their blood starts, and I always say, if what I'm saying is upsetting somebody, well, thank God you're alive that you can get upset. You have to believe everything I'm saying.
That's so true.
Very great point.
So anyway, they took me aboard, resurrected me basically, put the life force, these Elohim masters, very human appearing beings, put the life force back in my body and altered my DNA RNA somewhat and upgraded me. So I would not be so vulnerable to psychotronic attack or any other kind of attack. Now, later on, as years went by, and I mean, there were assassins up on the hill, so to speak, but they're, aiming at me. And I pulled the trigger, but the bullet either didn't come out of the nozzle, or if it did, it didn't end up in me. Because Celeste, my beloved, she was basically riding shotgun, the old Western saying, riding shotgun. She was riding shotgun against the cabal, but she was on our side. And so they tried to kill me. I've told Dad hundreds of times they tried to take me out. And then, of course, I realized they were monitoring my phone conversation. So, of course, I like to go into humor in a kind of stand-up comedy kind of thing. And I would say to them, and I was on the phone, hey, I want to thank you guys. The Dark Hats. I want to thank you for trying to take me out because I know I'm over target. I know that what I'm saying is a threat. So I just want to, commend you for confirming to me again how important my mission was. Not that it's more important than anyone else's, of those of us of the ground crew or volunteers in Earth Embodiment. In fact, if you go to my website, intergalacticmatch.com, take a look at the NASA star people characteristic list.
We're going to talk about that list.
Yeah, and so most volunteers in Earth Embodiment have at least several to a third minimum. I have almost every one of those characteristics, traits. The star seeds, we bring an energy with us. See, DNA, RNA comes in first from the etheric, then it manifests on the physical. And so we can change our DNA, RNA. We can actually quit aging. We can actually, do a lot of things. And what's happening now with the conscious shifting on the planet, we have opportunities available to us, which in the past, because the cabal was using all kinds of mind control and various other techniques, and the Whiteout Alliance has been, for one of the things they've been doing is taking out all these underground dumbs, and rescuing about millions of children that were abducted by the cabal. That's a whole thing. In fact, I wrote a chapter in Celeste, my book, about a powerful vision I had one day when I was power walking around Sarasota here in Florida, and it was mind blowing. I mean, I started crying. It was so overwhelming because Celeste, my higher self, and Celeste has a ship up there called the Celestial Star. It's our personal Merkaba light ship. And one day, in fact, when I was power walking, I was walking along, and Celeste manifested to me, told me to turn around, take a look at the opposite up in the sky, and there is this beautiful, you know what a sundog is? Sundog is a rainbow kind of halo in this, but it was a cloud bank with a sundog effect. And there was, I could see the rim of the celestial star, little ionization around sticking out. I have a photograph in the book of that I took. And that's her and my higher self in her ship, where we hang out a lot up there. And anyway, but this powerful vision occurred. It was totally mind-blowing. I started crying. And what part of it was about Trump, because a lot of the media.
Before he got into office, Michael?
No, this was while he was in office. This was like 2 years ago or whatever it was. And I had to put it in the book, but a lot of people didn't understand how Trump and his family actually, and there was a famous book written in 1890 called about Trump. It's interesting, a whole thing about, there's some theory about, because his uncle was involved in all kinds of technology with Nikola Tesla. People don't know that. And his uncle was connected with Howard Hughes, which was involved in time travel. People don't know that fact. I'm kind of like an encyclopedia of hard to find information.
You are, man. You are. Hey, I want to get to, let's get to the top. This is good. And we can actually, I'd like to continue this there, but I do want to get to really the focus of this show is you and Celeste. And let's talk about that if we can for a minute, because I want to go there with you if we can. So Celeste is your intergalactic soulmate.
Well, she's my universal other half, twin flame. See, in metaphysics, we can have more than one soulmate, but there's only one twin flame, one twin soulmate, our true universal other half. And she first made herself, her presence kind of got my attention back in the end of 2017 when I was about to do an event here in Sarasota. And 2 months before that, another channel psychic had told me, you're gonna meet your other half at this meeting. And it was mind-blowing. She walks in. But what I didn't realize until later is Celeste had walked into her body. A walk-in, which Ruth Montgomery was a famous metaphysical teacher, made that term a little known to people back in the late 80s. Actually in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. She wrote a couple books called Strangers Among Us and Aliens Among Us, talking about walk-ins. And there's 2 types of walk-ins, where there's a soul transfer, where the soul in the body leaves and there's an agreement with a higher being to come in, and then there's a soul mergence. So Celeste did a soul mergence. She merged with the soul that was already, because it was a higher agreement. And she got my attention.
Wait, let me make sure I just got what you said. Okay, the soul mergence, did she merge with your soul, or did she take
she merged with this other lady, one of my soulmates. But the whole drama was she's with another partner. And
the human walk-in.
Yeah, well, this lady walks in, and I didn't realize Celeste had merged her energy with this lady, but I'm looking at her, it was like love at first sight. It totally blew my mind. There's a clairvoyant standing nearby. She told me later, she said, she said, I saw the fireworks and stars shooting off between both of you. You could see the energy.
So let's this is a lot. So I want to make sure we help grab it for it. So you walked into a room, you were in an event.
Standing there.
Celeste merges into this physical.
No, this had happened before she walked. I'm just saying that, explaining how Celeste got in that.
I got you. So now
in a matter of hours or sometime before, hours or days before that moment, she had already merged with this lady.
Right.
But this lady, which I had in the book, I changed her name because there's a lot of, when twin flames come together, it's powerful. It impacts the time-space continuum. And it disrupted, her conscious self didn't fully understand the lady that
The lady.
Celeste had merged with, but there was a higher agreement. But nevertheless, it was overwhelming. And of course, this lady, she's overwhelmed, and she comes up to me and says, she says, I want to invite you to come and stay with me and my partner. Well, that was like, and I'm in conflict because I didn't want to break up their relationship. That's not my style. I thought Celeste was going to be by herself, not involved with anybody.
Right.
So
Did you think at first that they just wanted to like have a kinky
yeah, like were they
threesome?
swingers or anything? Did you think that, or what did you think?
Yeah.
Swinger?
Yeah.
No. We're getting off on a different tangent here. No, I thought when I saw her, oh my God, I
really normal.
Seems relevant.
Right.
but I didn't understand that she was with somebody else. I thought
Right.
she was going to be available to me, where we
Right.
could start up this wonderful relationship.
Right.
But what would a script be if everything was so nice and even and clear? But when we look back with hindsight, as when Celeste and I wrote our book together, it was almost fan-crafty, incredible experience of her helping me, and which was a whole experience in itself, totally, you could say, orgasmic in ways. To be a little provocative here, okay? That I'm blissed out. I have a little mantra. I'm blissed and blessed by Celeste.
Aw.
So
I'm totally blissed out.
Michael, give me a second on this one if you can, because I want to just really try to wrap our heads around this. So now you have this physical being that has Celeste with her, who is now a little overwhelmed by this.
They're merged as one. They're merged together.
Merged
Who's
as one.
still with someone.
Who's still with someone else, who invites you
Yes.
and says, I'd like for you to stay with myself and
Come
my
and stay
son."
with me. I could go across a different part of Florida than where I was.
Okay, so now okay, so Celeste is there, her partner. What is their reaction to Celeste inviting you into this?
Right.
Into this, and what is their reaction?
This was I first was in conflict because, as I said, I didn't want to break up their relationship. To me, there's kind of a moral. I follow, you don't have to be religious to be moral. Okay. I'm very spiritual. I'm just not a traditional, to me, there are, karma. I believe in karma, that a lot of it's all based on intent, motive and intent. But my intent while wanting to be with her, I'm in conflict because I knew what this was going to cause. I knew this was going to cause a conflict in their relationship. And finally, I came to a point because I'm in conflict and I'm really in this moral dilemma. Finally, a higher being named Voltra, who is a cosmic psychotherapist who I have been connected with a lot, and he is a being who's out of a ship called the Jupiter One and has a device called the accelerator chair. And I can invite people, and he's invited, where you can etherically ask me, take it aboard, sit in the accelerator chair. And in years past, what's interesting is a lot of people, when one of the beings named Ashtar, who channeled through me for years, often would describe the accelerator chair. I'm bringing this up because people who had never heard what it looked like separately all described the exact same details about the accelerator chair. These beautiful colored lights and everything. So I've been in that, and so it helped me to release all my dysfunctional stuff from the earlier part of my life. Even though I grew up in a family, my parents were open to metaphysical things, there was all this dysfunctional stuff going on in the Earth situation, family dynamics. And that's just how it is. We used to watch, Leave It to Beaver and Father Knows Best and go, hey, how come my family wasn't like that? Even though my parents were very metaphysical, my father was a professional stage hypnotist, which helped train me through, because he found out that famous psychic Edgar Cayce, Leaping Prophet, had gone to a hypnotist, and he used hypnosis to help him.
Michael, let me help us stay on track on this one if you can, just for the audience's benefit. I know you got a lot that you want to get out. The partner, what was their reaction to Celeste saying, come and stay with us? Can you help us with that?
He's back at the back of the ranch, back in where they live, and he didn't really, he knew I was coming because she had already told him. They had pretty good communications, but I have to say, I liked the guy. The guy was really nice, but the dynamics began to, let's just say, it's a kind of a long story. A lot happened in that week that I was there.
Well, how long? Okay, so when you were at the convention or whatever it was, and then you move in or you visit, How
Yeah.
much time went by in that period? Was it fast?
It was over a period of a week, or actually more than a week.
That's
And
fast.
I was totally blissed out with her because the moment she and I came together, we're back in the Tantra temples. We're back as universal life tantric partners, and back long before India had tantra temples. The ancient golden age of Lemuria, they had these gigantic, beautiful.
Let me bring you back here if I can, and I really get where you're going with this. Again, for people watching this whole scenario, because someone else may be experiencing this right now, and then it's really
They don't know what
important.
to do.
It's really important that we get a clarity on this picture. So again, you're there for a week. You go to this tantric temple of sorts. What happens then? So now
with the boyfriend,
with the boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever Celeste partner is, who or whatever that is, what happens then? Did you actually move? Did you stay with them?
I stayed with them. See, what was going on, that this guy had this business situation with some partners that were, I'm not going to go into the detail, they caused him, because of problems in the business, he got caught up in trying to deal with these partners that were trying to screw him over financially. And he even asked me at one point to help give him some insight. So it was almost this incredible experience, because here I have this powerful feeling of love for this lady. And I know that they were soulmates, because we say we have more than one soulmate, but I'm her twin flame and he's a soulmate to her. So you can see the dynamics was not going to be a norm. It's not your norm everyday situation. This was his higher self and her higher self had agreed to allow this to him. He didn't know this consciously. And so, but I got with her, they have one of those vans that have the dark windows and everything, a conversion van. So we'll go out with her, we meditate, or with these vortex spots, but we're
Just
back
you
in
and
the
her,
Tantra
just you and
temple.
Mhm.
Yeah, when I go out there, we're back in the Tantra, and I'm teaching this powerful cosmic color meditation, which we're sitting in the, what the Shiva Shakti lotus position is, and we're reliving this back in the Tantra temple, and it's totally mind blowing me. I'm totally blissed out. I mean, it was like we're back there. We went back. We're time traveling back in time, and it was like totally transcendent. And totally exquisite beyond human. I mean, most people have, but I'm reliving it with her as her, and we're partners, and she's my beloved, and we spent ages in making love every day. Now I know this is very provocative, but I'm reliving it. And the negative forces got pissed off because they tried to erase the memory of the golden age of Lemuria. Most people don't know what they talk about. The temples. What kind of temples were they? They were gigantic rainbow crystal temples, living the crystal, unlike the cathedrals and churches that were built to hold in our consciousness. These temples expanded your consciousnness. See, I have studied religion. I read the Bible when I was around 9 years of age, from cover to cover. I see it as a UFO extraterrestrial case book. It's filled with many truths, but at the same time, you go back to the early 4th century, the Council of Nicaea, kind of like the Warren Commission on the Kennedy assassination, kind of like the 9/11 Commission and the Condon Report Project Blue.
So what happened in the van? Let's get.
Well, I'm reliving being back in the temples with her.
Okay.
And I'm doing these cosmic colors. She wanted to learn to keep and learn to channel also. So, and her higher self, Celeste, comes in, and she's channeling, and we're just reliving these incredible experiences back in the temples, and I'm teaching the cosmic color meditation to her. We're having these incredible experiences. And it was so overwhelming. And then of course, after we're out there for several hours, we come back to the house. And her partner, I can't go into all of the details of what his job is, because it kind of, I'm trying to give them, and I don't want to see a lot of stuff happen.
Let me jump to the forward. Does she leave him?
No. See, because here's the whole deal. I ended up in a homeless shelter right after this. It blew my mind. I've been guided for years, and Celeste has been guiding me. And I wasn't allowed to be connected, to be aware of her until this time in my life. I had to get rid of all these other karmic situations out of the way, get my energy aligned. But I'm in a homeless shelter, kind of the dark night of my soul. There's like one toilet to 100 guys. You can get kind of, and I'm laying on the cold concrete floor. And I shared this in the book, but I'll just say I'm laying there. The dark forces are attacking me kind of because I remember things that only a few out of, we supposedly 7 billion people on the planet, only a few dozen people have the memory of that time. They tried to erase it because you see, when you're experiencing incredible ecstasy as an orgasmic tantric, intimacy, it raises your consciousness. When you're with your divine partner, it raises your consciousness. And I work with the Christ frequency. I'm very much into the Christ frequency. And I know that Jesus and all the different masters were coming from a Christed point of view. They weren't into religion, they were into spirituality. So one of the controversial things, I know that Jesus was married to Mary Magdalene. They were tantric masters as much as they were spiritual. And a lot of religious people may get upset about this, but the fact that there were 777 books that the Council of Nicaea, they only referred to 66 of those.
Michael, did the Celeste, so after you went to, and you went there and did you ever at some point in time have a physical relationship with this Celeste or the person that's housing?
Well, when I was with her, I was having this relationship, but I don't want to, again.
Was the partner aware of this relationship at all?
I would really, I'm sure he was, there's a lot that happened, and I really rather kind of leave that part,
Is Celeste, has Celeste taken over? Has she walked into another human form?
No, she's around me etherically. I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient.
Right.
Clairsensitive. So I see her. I forget sometimes she's not physically around me. Excuse me. And her presence is so powerful. I mean, we are, we're being intimate. And it's hard to describe to people how that's possible.
Right.
Her energy and we just kind of merge, and we have this exquisite experience. And I mean,
you go into like a meditation first.
I do this cosmic color meditation, and she etherically sits with me, and we go back in time to the Tantra temple again.
So at this time you do it etherically. So, but the Celeste that you described earlier at this event,
when she came in as a walk-in,
came in as a walk-in. So
that's physically with
temporary. Got it. Okay.
Physically with her.
So there's no. Has there ever been another walk-in since you met that? So
that was, she only did that briefly to get my attention.
Got it. Okay. Got it.
That'll wake you up.
All right. Got it. Now.
Oh yeah, and then I was plugged into her frequency, and then she started coming around me big time. But she first reintroduced herself to me when I was in the homeless shelter, lying in the cold concrete floor, and all of a sudden the room lit up. Now, no one else could see her. I saw her. I mean, just like the image that is in the book, and that's at the website that Ariel Alley, this very talented visionary artist, did of her. And he's now specifically, doing these illustrations for the other half. Most of the volunteers in Earth Embodiment, most of them, there are a few who met their other half on Earth, but the vast majority are separated with their other half off planet. The reason we titled our book INTERGALACTIC not to be confused with Earth Match, the Match.com on Earth. This is the intergalactic version. This is literally the intergalactic version of that, where unlike going to a dating site, by reading Celeste in my book, because it's energetically encoded over 750 pages, it's quite long. Celeste almost took about a year for us in 2020 and she helped me really put into words. Because sometimes if I say it's incredible, awesome, and fantastic being with her, that falls short of how incredibly exquisite it actually is to be in her divine presence. It is a profound. Do you have
anything when you meet other women? Is there any? If you meet other women, well, number one, are there any other women in your life in physical embodiment? No, there is none. No. So
in fact, I would rather be with her directly than with a physical soul.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
How do you explain this to your family?
Hello, everybody. How are you? Much love to you. It's very good to see you and hang out with you. I hope you're having a fantastic day here. So let me give you some updates about what's going on with Spiritually Raw. So as you can see right here, a new facelift. I hope you like it. Okay, so this is the new facelift, the image of the site. So watch, evolve, ascend. It's very cool, very streamlined. Everything's broken down in very easy catalogs, playlists for you to watch whatever kind of topic you're looking for to help you on your journey called life. So let's check it out together. All right, so literally here you go, the home page right here. You can scroll down. If you're already a member, same login and password as you normally do. If you're not, you can click right here, join now, get a 3-day free trial, check out and binge on the whole network as much as you want. I hope you like it, and I'm sure you will, but that's 3 days on us. Okay, so don't forget to check that out if you're not already. Here's some videos that are recent that we just put up there that you'll be able to check here. Now, also too, I want to go back here real quick, catalog. So this is how we've broken it down for you. Super simple and very easy playlist, new releases, intuitive psychic mediums, the Great Awakening, metaphysical, current events, 2020 videos for those of you who want to take a trip down memory lane and see how that all worked out. Prosperity, special report, I mean, so on and so forth. I mean, it goes on and on and on. We have really brought together the best minds out there that are coming in to entertain us, but then to break it down so simple, again, to help us on our journey called life. So this is really cool here. So also, I want to point out here for those of you who have actually said, hey, you know, I do want to have my own show. We also have a master course preview, and that's there to designed to teach all of you who would like to have your own show, or maybe even need some help in being interviewed when you are on other shows too. But let's go down a little further. I want to show you something else. So for all of you out there who have Roku, you simply need to click here and you can now watch us on Roku TV. Coming soon within the coming weeks, within probably a week or so, you'll see us on the iPhone, Apple. We're streaming everywhere. You'll be able to download the app soon on Apple. But as of right now, like I said, you can stream us anywhere there. So, and these are some examples of the topics that you're going to be watching when you do go to spirituallyraw.live. So thank you very, very much for hanging out with us as you always do. Really do hope you are having the most miracle mornings and are having the most fortunate days. And this really is bringing you a lot of value. And again, helping you on your journey called life. So thanks again, and we will see you all next time.
We'd like to share a story. While it may sound fictional, it's very real and happening right now in front of our very eyes. It's called The Great Awakening. Our sisters and brothers that come on Spiritually Raw are doing everything to help expand global consciousness, and in many cases putting everything on the line to share their messages about what's happening around the world for the greater good of humanity, while exposing the truth of the deep state and the dark forces behind it all. We are living in the most unbelievable times. Some may even say biblical, scary for many and yet exhilarating for others. Together we are taking part in getting everyone acclimated to the Great Awakening process and the exciting new discoveries that lie ahead. The sad part is many of our amazing guests are being heavily censored, socially shamed, and outright banned on many platforms for exposing the truth and piercing the veil. By becoming a viewer, you bring your powerful energy towards this global movement of other truth seekers. If you're resonating with our show, please let us know by hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, turn on the notification, and leave some comments. Together, we will turn the universal key to global harmony and create a unified world. And remember, tune in often, tell all your friends, and most importantly, may all your dreams come true. Thanks, and God bless Patriots worldwide.